Hello everybody, welcome back to the Stacey West Preview Show. I am your host Jake. As always, we're back for another Sky Bet League One preview as Mark Kennedy takes his Lincoln City side to Oakwell to face Barnsley. Before we do get into today's video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Also go ahead and check out the latest rendition of the West End Imp Show that I did after the Sheffield Wednesday game. Like I said, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel as soon as possible, just so that we can get the content better for you guys. It'd be massively appreciated. So let's have a little look at what I thought about the Sheffield Wednesday game. The Wednesday game for me was, like I said in the West End Imp Show, was a bit of a game of two halves, really. I think they clearly had the best of the first half. I think a lot of their supporters are moaning that they're not 2 or 3 goals up at half time. Obviously, the goal comes courtesy of a mistake from Carl Rushworth. We won't be saying that too many times this season. I don't anticipate. Probably his first clanger that he's made in the first 15 games that he's played for us. So no errors at all from me, really. Just disappointing that it had to go in. Then they sort of bossed possession. We didn't really have any spells where we kept the ball well. Wednesday were dictating things through Barry Bannon, who's a really good player at this level and is very difficult to stop. And I think the second half we were able to close them down. Obviously, pretty much straight away we were able to put our stamp on the game. Really good sort of link-up play. I think it's Matty Virtue and Ben House down the right-hand side, slips it into Danny Mandroyu, who very nicely finishes it with the outside of his foot into the corner. Maybe have a few complaints if you're a Wednesday fan about the way Stockdale went down for the goal, but great to see Danny get his first goal in a game of such significance. And then from then on in, I thought we were probably the better side. I know the stats will suggest that they've had 70% possession, similar to what Ipswich had against us a few weeks ago. But with our 30%, I felt that we did a lot more with it. We looked a lot more threatening. Bannon obviously had that sitter that he missed. I think it's actually very good defending from Paulie O'Connor. Also, obviously, we had a few opportunities in the second half to break. Just ball just didn't fall right for us, which was a shame. But still, a really solid point against a side that are going to be up there this year. Probably look more complete than Ipswich, I thought, in their build-up play. And they're probably going to be a side that grinds results out better than Ipswich. So a very good point, very happy. Obviously, it was nice to see Slim Shady and his gang of friends. But yeah, obviously another pressing game in the South Yorkshire region on Tuesday night for Lincoln. I spoke to Taylor from the Barnsley on Tour YouTube channel, and here is what he had to say on Barnsley Football Club. Right, we're joined by Taylor from the Barnsley on Tour YouTube channel. Taylor, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you. Looking forward to talking some football. Right, Barnsley then. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Obviously coming down from the Championship last year, following the really successful year of getting into the playoffs the year before. How have you sort of acclimatised to League One? I know it's probably a much stronger division than last time you were in it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a very strong division now. It's getting tougher and tougher to get out of. It proved that with the teams like Sunderland and Portsmouth, who have spent quite a few years in this division. So it's very tough. Obviously, we came down last season after a very poor year under 2 poor managers. None of us expected to get out of this division at the first time of asking, as we haven't made the best recruitment. We're not a team to spend a lot of money in the transfer market. But we've come down. We're currently sat 9th or 10th now. We've picked up some decent points along the way, but we've not played as good football as we expect, because some of the lower teams, we end up dropping to their level, and that's just how League One is, and it's quite tough. But it's been an okay start, but there's a lot of improving to do.
And what are the early thoughts in the fan base about Michael Duff? He's a manager that I really respect for what he did with Cheltenham over the last couple of years. Obviously, we'd have seen him a lot, a bit closer than you will. But is he getting any closer to winning the Barnsley fans around? I know obviously he had a very close tie with Ishmael before he went off to West Brom. Is Michael Duff starting to build that relationship with the supporters as well?
I mean, yeah, he came in obviously after doing such a good job at Cheltenham. I'll be honest, I didn't know much about him prior to his arrival, but he's come in. he seems to be a very passionate guy. He's getting a lot more effort out of some of the players that we didn't see much effort out of last season. There were a bit of stick aiming towards him after obviously Saturday's defeat at Markham. But for me, he's doing a good job with the resources he's got. We've got quite a light squad. We've not got a lot of depth. We haven't spent a lot of money. And on Saturday, we had a 16-year-old coming off the bench. So Michael Duff doesn't really have a lot to work with. I know, obviously, here at Cheltenham, they don't have the biggest wage budget. They don't spend loads of money. But the more he's backed, maybe in January, the more he'll do. But at the moment, he's got most of the Barnsley fans on board. He just needs a bit of backing from our board.
And obviously, you had quite a few high-profile departures over the summer. Morris going to Luton, Woodrow going to Luton as well. The likes of Callum Styles, Britain as well, moving up to the Championship. How would you say that Michael Duff's done recruitment-wise? Has he been able to adequately replace those players? I know you've got a few tidy players in your squad, haven't you?
Yeah, them players that you mentioned, that they were massive to lose. The main one I want to keep was Carlton Morris, because as you can see now, he's scoring goals for fun for Luton. If we would have kept him in this division, I'm confident he would have scored a bagful. But we're not a club that offers big wages, and we lost them players to bigger teams at the end of the day. As for what we've brought in, I think the only player we spent money on were Adam Phillips from Burnley. Besides that, I think we made 6 or 7 free transfers. So which ones of them free transfers were Michael Duff's choice? I'm not entirely sure, because obviously a lot of choices to the people above him at the end of the day. But they've been okay, but he needs a proper transfer window where he gets to choose and actually spend some money.
And what sort of style of play can we expect from Barnsley? Obviously, under Michael Duff at Cheltenham, they played the 3 at the back with the wing backs. Is that something that he's deployed at Oakwell as well?
Well, yeah, it's very similar to what we've had this system for quite a few years. We had it under Ismail when we got into the playoffs that year, and then the Marcus Shop and Hoyer, who came in when we had that disastrous season last year, they kept a similar style but couldn't work it as well. Michael Duff's come in. He's obviously using the same style as what you just mentioned to what he used at Cheltenham. 3 at back, using wing backs. Then it's either like a 1 behind 2 strikers or a front 3 to try and get that high pressing and put the pressure onto the opposition. We haven't done that so well in recent games, hence us not scoring in our last 3 league games. But if you've got any speed up front, if you can put a ball in between the side centre backs and the wing backs, that's your best way of breaking us down, because we've got good centre halves, but they're very slow. So if you can exploit that, you'll have some fun going forward.
Yeah, I'll be sure to send that to Mark Kennedy before the game on Tuesday. Talk to me then about Morecambe on Saturday. Obviously not yesterday, not the best result. Morecambe were bottom of the table from what I can recall before the game, and then you guys turn up to the Globe, probably thinking you're going to get a win, but shows you how competitive League One is if a team down the bottom can beat a side like Barnsley, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We came into this game, I think, 5 away games without losing. And if I am correct, they came into this game without a home win all season. They've only won 1 game prior to this, and I do believe that was an away game. So we came in very confident. We sold out that away end. Our fans were noisy. They were passionate. They were confident. They were expecting 3 points. I were expecting 3 points. A team like Morecambe, they struggled to pick up results this year. We should have gone at them from minute 1, tried to put them under pressure, tried to score goals, but that obviously wasn't the case. The bottom of the league, we underestimated them. I wouldn't say they sat back. They just defended well and then took the chance when they got it, and then never really gave us a chance to score because we couldn't create out. And like you said, that shows how tough this division is, because the bottom of the league, they're no pushover, and then they ended up beating us.
Yeah, obviously a really tough team to play, Morecambe, under Derek Adams. Now we like to have a look at the last time the last 2 clubs faced each other, which wasn't actually that long ago. Papa John's Trophy, obviously we were drawn in the same group. I've got fond memories. Obviously, you probably not so much. Come to Oakwell. Sorry, turned you over by 3-0, 2 goals from Teddy Bishop and 1 also from Jack Diamond, I think. What can you remember from that game? Obviously, we showed you up a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a very poor night for us. Obviously, in the same group in the Pizza Cup, people's got their own opinions on that. But at the end of the day, it's a competition that you want to win, and you want to win your games of football. But we played a mixed bag side like we have in them all. I'm not sure how full strength you were for that game, but you turned up. Your players wanted it more. You beat us 3-0. I can't even remember us having many decent chances in that game, to be honest. But if we want to get out of Tuesday, we've got to be a lot better than we were that day because we were horrible on that Tuesday night, and you thoroughly deserve to beat us.
Yeah, and obviously Norwood getting sent off as well for throwing an elbow at one of our players. Obviously, a player we don't get on with. How's he got on at Oakwell so far?
It's been a bit hit and miss. Obviously he's on the older spectrum. He's one of the more experienced players. He's been there and done it at Tranmere and Ipswich and all that. So it was an interesting one. We signed him. We only signed him on a 1-year deal, so people were very sceptical. I was happy because we don't really get players in with experience like him. I thought he could be an experienced head in the dressing room and show some of the younger lads along the way. But like you just reminded me, he got sent off for that elbow. So he's not so much lived up to that expectation. Some games he's looked like he could be the striker that can get maybe 10 to 12 goals that we need. But then other games he just looks lost and loses his head. And like, I think it was a home game where we lost to Exeter. He ended up getting subbed off at like 35 minutes because his head just weren't in game. And Michael Duffwater changed it around. So it's been a bit 50-50 with him. When he's on the pitch, you can see that he's got the talent because he's been there and done it for so long. But he's not consistent enough to be that striker that you want to help you push up that league table.
Now, I'm going to test your League One knowledge and see if you know much on Lincoln so far this season. Obviously, had a few decent results in the last couple of weeks, beating Ipswich, drawing with your local rivals Sheffield Wednesday as well yesterday afternoon. What have you made of Lincoln's start to the season?
I don't think it's too bad. You've shown some good performances against some teams, like you mentioned. You beat Ipswich. Obviously, I was glad you held Wednesday to a point at the weekend. I do believe you're below us in the table, but only by like 2 points because from playoffs down to like 15, it's still very tight. So you guys are still got a chance of pushing up that table. And with a game against us, which I feel like you can pick some up, depending how both teams turn up. I wouldn't say kickstart your season, but you can keep the momentum going on from that point against Wednesday. Obviously, I do believe, was you in the playoffs 2 seasons ago against Blackpool?
Same year you got playoffs in the Championship. We were playoffs in League One that year.
Yeah. And then last year you didn't do as well, did you, if I'm correct?
No, I think we were 17th last year, so poor year.
Yeah.
Right then, obviously it's going to be a fairly big crowd, I anticipate, on Tuesday night down at Oakwell. We're bringing a fair few. Obviously, it's only an hour or so away. So, what's your score prediction then, Taylor, for Tuesday night?
I'm not feeling confident after what I saw yesterday. I think you'll come up to Oakwell again. You beat us once. You're going to have confidence to do it again, and I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I think we'd take that. And do you want to plug your YouTube channel as well, Taylor? Obviously, you do a lot of good work over there as well.
Yeah, I run Barnsley on Tour YouTube channel. I just do match day vlogs for some of the Barnsley fans that can't attend the games. I go to every game, saying that I am missing one next week, but I've been to every game for like the last 18 months. But I do the vlog, so if you want to check that out, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Taylor. Massively appreciate it, mate. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me on, mate. It's been a pleasure.
So a massive thank you to Taylor to coming onto the channel tonight to come and help me preview the game for Tuesday evening. Please make sure that you go and check out his content. I will be on his matchday vlog for the game on Tuesday night, and there will be a link to his channel in the description down below as well. So yeah, massive thank you, Taylor, and thank you everybody for watching. As I say, this is looking forward to another trip to South Yorkshire, hopefully another positive result, and we'll see you probably on Wednesday or Thursday for the Western Imps show. Thank you very much for watching. Up the Imps.